Bitcoin, pump. Altcoins, pump. I've been preparing for this. Can't nobody tell me nothing. Bitcoin, pump. Altcoins, pump. I've been preparing for this. Can't nobody tell me nothing. Bitcoin, pump. Altcoins, pump. I've been preparing for this. Can't nobody tell me nothing. Bitcoin, pump. Altcoins, pump. I've been preparing for this. Can't nobody tell me nothing. SEC and its policies rely on whatever Gary thinks. Bitcoin's a flight to quality. I heard that from Larry Fink. Every hour losing purchasing power on foolish outings. It's not our fault. Blame the code. It's the political cowards. When it comes to gas, our purchasing power just got cut in half. I sit back and laugh, open my bag, fill it with stacks and sats. Bitcoin, pumping. Altcoins, pumping. I've been preparing for this. Can't tell me nothing.
And I believe crypto will play that type of role as a flight to quality. We are hearing from clients around the world.
Bitcoin, pump. Altcoins, pumping. I've been preparing for this.
And I believe crypto will play that type of role as
Bitcoin, pump. Altcoin, pumping.
We are hearing from clients around the world.
Can't nobody tell me nothing.
Crypto, depending on how you think about it. And I believe crypto will play that type of role as a
Can't nobody tell me nothing. Bitcoin, pump.
We are hearing from clients around the world.
I'm here for it. I know you're here for it. The market, all the signals seem like they're here for it. Are the bulls taking over? I think it's time to dive in. If you're watching this live, big love to you for being here on the live stream. Hit that retweet over at Kelly Kellam or at Academy BitLab. This is live streamed. You get entered to win. We draw every Friday. Big love to each and every one of you. If you're ready to let this fly, drop a 1 in chat if you're watching on YouTube, because I see that live chat. I got the links down below, the top comment there on the live stream on Twitter. If you want to join our free trading group, we have been crushing it in there. Did a 92% trade yesterday. I will share that with you all. I love you guys. I think it's time to get into it. I think it's time to make it happen. What's up, everybody? Oh, am I muted? No. What's up, everybody? Good morning, good afternoon, good night. I hope everybody's doing well. We got to talk about what's going on in these charts because they are giving us some absolute magic. This is what we're talking about, this absolute boom from October 10th. I just want to show you, we have now made a move of about 12% to the upside, and you thought October was canceled. I have got some ridiculous charts here to show you how, why, when, and where. I hope everything's working. I hope there's not any lagging. It seems like there's a bit of issue on it says warning, your stream bitrate is low, but we're going to keep going. Let me know if you can see me, if you can hear me, if you can feel me, because I'm feeling good with these markets. We're going to get into it because I'm going to cover a couple things here. We got a guest coming on in just a little bit. Shout out to Granny's Garden. Tater, I hope you're healing up after your surgery. Donato Cabrera, good to see you again. Alejandra G, how you doing? Andy D, Token Tide Temptress. We got so many friends and family in here. Big love to each and every single one of you. This is what we've been waiting for, but does it mean the bulls have truly taken over? There is a cautionary tale we have to pay attention to. So we're going to look at all the signals, everything that's going on, and the setup that is absolutely going to just melt these bears out of existence. The question is the time now? The question is, how are you feeling today? What are you grateful for? Are you learning? Are you practicing your skills in this market? Are you trying to make sure that you're preventing losing money? We get so focused on trying to make money, we lose money sometimes more often than we make it. No, let's protect this capital because this rocket ship is about to fly. These engines are lit. So let's talk about it. Shout out to everybody that's tuned in right now. I want to see activity in this live chat. I want to see you heading over to the at Kelly Kellam page or at Academy BitLab, showing you right here. Come down to the stream, hit that retweet, hit that like button, show some love. We have the free traders group right here. This shows you exactly. It's a 3-step process, super easy, free to join. You just got to sign up with CoinW with us. You can do it basically from anywhere, no VPN, no KYC required. And then, of course, I'm going to talk a little bit about getting NordVPN. You can get it free for 4 months. Signing up with this link. We had a core member in our BitLab community got hacked, even though he had a ledger. A huge amount of his assets were taken, and this is one of those reasons why it is so important. It is so important for you all to have protection, protecting yourself on the online landscape. You got to get a VPN. I don't care if you use ours where you can get it 4 months free or you get it from somewhere else. I just want to make sure that you are protecting yourself. So now coming back into what we're looking at, everything's green here on the daily other than SPX right here and Hex. Wouldn't you believe it? Tron also down to touch, but we're seeing wonderful gains here on the hourly. What are we looking like? Okay, we're getting some choppiness here with these meme coins. Helium down just a little bit, but we're seeing just beautiful I can speak beautiful action here in the markets, and it's feeling good. Bitcoin's also back over $2.3 trillion. Let's go. I cannot wait to see how high this goes in this cycle, but we can't put the cart before the horse. So what are the signals we are watching today? We got 142 people tuned in right now, and in probably 10 minutes as people roll in, we'll have 3 or 4, maybe 5, maybe 600. But shout out to each and every one of you that's here on a daily basis. Remember, look at everybody's name that is live watching this live stream right now. Because all of you, you're going to be the last of the OG status. I'm telling you, as this market gets more exciting, we're about to see a huge wave of adoption, especially once we break past 80 and especially once we break past 100. You're going to be recognizing names like those people were there in the dark times when it's not exciting. That's because you are ahead of the pack. So every single one of you, I want you to practice a stretching exercise right now. It goes like this. And you bend your elbow like this and you pat your motherfucking self on the back because you are here before the rest of the world. And we got to talk about it. So what are we looking at today? Look at this. I am bullish today because of this. Remember this chart I shared October 4th? Everybody was so worried. I said October 4th. Okay, this is 2023. We crashed 7.4%. And then we pumped 29% from the high, not this low. There's about 33% pump from the actual low. Now, at this point, we had only dropped about 5.5%. But now, after the little pullback we had, it was a drop of about 7.59%, which is almost exactly what we saw last cycle. In addition to that, check this out. Update, October 14th pump, 14 days into October. Just like October 2023. Look at this. This is October 2023, October 1st, measured out, 14 bars. Look, this is when it started. What is today? October 14th. It's as if it was so obvious that you couldn't believe it. But here it is. That bullish pressure is taking over, like many of you and I and all of us have been watching the data, as scary as it can be sometimes, is saying, hey, man, you can't ignore a limited supply and an ever-increasing buying pressure. That is just a fact. Can there be some whale games? Absolutely there is. There will be, and there will continue to be. But you cannot forego the pressures underlying this market. In addition to that, what do we see? This is from Dan Held. He says, this is what it feels like before the bull market. This black line is where we're at. These are the last 2 cycles. Look where we're at. Measured from the cycle low. We're actually a little bit under where we should be. And some of you think we're a little too high. No, we are getting only stronger. Could we get a washout? I'm still ready for it. And in fact, I'm so bullish, I hope it comes. But on an engagement level, nah, man, let's let this green rocket ride. But this is where we're at. So just remember that. Let me go ahead, engage. I already have. I hit the heart button because I appreciate when I see content online. You engage with it. That's what we all got to do. Now, continuing on, what do we see? October trap complete. Look at this. One cycle, trap down, sideways, and then boom, up. What do we see? Trap down, sideways, and up. What do we see? Trap down, sideways, and then up. Wouldn't you believe it? So we got that. Look at that. We already got it all. I'm engaging with all the content that I'm paying attention to. And then what do we got? We got the we have the monthly chart here, bull flag, and I have chart of this that I'm going to share here in just a moment. Let's actually come back out and let's go to my profile right here. I just shared it a few minutes ago. Every October in the last 4 years, all the way back to October 20th, even in the bear market, look at this. Bullish month. Bullish. Look at that. Bullish. Look at this. The start of this real strong rally, monthly chart, breaking out of this bull pennant downtrend resistance. It's starting to look really good. In fact, it looks so good, I do worry that we're going to have a bit of a pullback. And I make sure I manage my risk by being aware how bullish I am. But this is feeling good. This is looking good. And if history is going to repeat here, are you ready? That's the question. Now, continuing on, what do we see? We also see Google Trends. Search term for Bitcoin just hit a 4-year low. Guess what happens next? You buy when nobody's paying attention. That's when the best opportunities are. So the price may be high right now, but we're seeing an ever-increasing strong base of data that suggests that rocket is really lighting the engines right now. The engines are, if they're not already fueled up, they are being fueled up. I think they're already fueled up and somebody's got a lighter right under it. They're just waiting for that gas to ignite. And by that time, you will have missed the boat. But as it stands right now, the search term, AKA retail interest, is at basically a 4-year low. Since when? Let's go ahead and look. Boom. Since this point right here. This is roughly October 2020, just like that chart I showed you where October kickstarts it. Well, look at what came after that. Right when, if I take my face off, you can see, hold on. If I take my face off, you can see right here, boom, this is where we had the low on interest. The interest, and I don't mean trading interest or interest on a loan. I mean interest in this asset. All-time low, essentially complacency with the market. I don't know. It's not high yet. Don't be a sucker that buys because it's exciting with positive price action. You say, hey, we know all the bullishness and there's no interest. Holy moly, is that an opportunity? So this is what we're looking at. This is what we're excited about. And we've got some just absolute face-melting opportunities. I'm in the middle of a trade right now. This is, I got in right here on the break of this move. As you can see right here, this is a B. It is starting to look a little weak, but that's okay. I got a stop loss. If I lose, $80 or something like that, that's okay. And if we zoom out on this, let's go on the 15-minute. Double click here. You can see I've been making buy, sell, buy, sell, buy, sell, buy, add a little more, buy, and selling. Very quick scalp positions. And on this one, I set it. I saw this move right here, just the underlying bullishness. I saw this on the breakout. I bought. And I mean, this, by the time I checked it a couple hours, I had a very tight stop loss. I think it was just below this. But this had that pumpage. I did about a 92% move on that trade. And that trade that I'm talking about is, I can show you right. Wait, it's got to be somewhere here. Here it is. Boom. This is that trade. 95% to the upside. Small position. I did a high leverage, but small position. It was like 250 bucks, $220 that trade. And I made basically doubled that very small trade. The larger I go, the smaller X I use. I do not want to put myself in a position where I am losing capital before this takes off, but I'm willing to take some shots, some swings with smaller amounts of capital and higher leverage. The higher amount of capital I use, the higher margin I use, the smaller leverage I take. So I don't put myself in a position where I can mess up my opportunity that is about to absolutely explode to the upside. Now, what's going to make this happen? Well, first off, look at this. This is that move. October right here to the pumpage, the speculative pump on the pending approval of ETFs, the sell-off on the approval, the news, the washout, essentially, the bear trap, and then boom. And then this is the last 7 months. What are we seeing over the last 7 months? This is the amount of sell pressure. How many people are just putting sell orders in order books? And what do we see? Evaporating back to zero just in time for that October 14th date like we saw last cycle. If you are a member on this channel, I want each and every single one of you. And by the way, if this is your first time here, this is not going to be your last time. My name's Kellam. Welcome to the BitLab stream. If you're a member on this channel, BitLab member on the YouTube channel, you got the emojis. I want to see the live chat just flying by with the Bitcoin bull emoji that you got. Just make them fly, because even if we get a small correction here, which I expect we will, the setup is just, it makes me just want to drop a little tear, So let's talk about it. What else do we got? So this is interesting. Looking at the stablecoin dominance, we may be getting a bearish MACD. Oh my God, bearish. Oh my God, what are we going to do? Bearishness. Bearish MACD cross below the zero line for the first time since October last year. This was literally right before Bitcoin broke to the upside. No, wait, this is a bullish metric, not bearish. Bearish signals on the USDT or the stablecoin dominance suggest that the stablecoin dominance is going to basically go down, aka stablecoins are getting deployed into buying crypto assets. So you want to see bearish signals on a chart like this, because it is an inverse correlation with something like Bitcoin and all these other altcoins that all of us are so interested in. And that is, if this goes down, it's signaling that there's buying pressure coming in, deploying into the crypto market. So let's understand what's going on. Now, I might get stopped out there. No, not yet. Getting close though. Let's go down to the 3 minute, take a little look. Getting close, but it's okay. That's why you have a plan. You stick to it. Getting stopped out is not taking a loss. Taking a loss is continuing to move your stop loss to where you lose so much money. You're like, no, stop. Getting stopped out means you're holding to your risk management. So remember that. But I'm so bullish. If I keep moving, I know it's going to go up. That's how you screw yourself. And that's not what we're here to do. We're here to screw the institutions and the government. We want to make money in this market. So hold yourself to an action plan. Shout out to Falco gifting 1 BitLab Academy membership. We got a member stream today, this afternoon, 2 p.m. Eastern time. And just shout out to every single one of you that's watching right now. I want you to make sure to come right down below the video. If you're on Twitter, also come over to the YouTube. Make sure, because you're not going to get access to any of the member streams on YouTube. Make sure it says subscribed. There's about 55% of you that watch on a daily basis that are not subscribed. Hit that subscription and then turn on all. And then if there's a join button or whatever, join if you're not a member. You can join also. If you scroll down, it says join to become a member of the BitLab community right here. You can join. It's like $1.25 a week or something. You get access to the member streams. I'll be going live at 2 p.m. Eastern time today. And just a shout out to every single one of you. If you come over here on BitLab Academy, make sure your notifications are on, because sometimes at the first 2 or 3 minutes as we go live, I post in the link here. As you see, I accidentally left it here. I post it and then I delete it after about 5 minutes. If you see this because your notifications are on, it's a thank you for having your notifications on. But also members, you need to make sure your notifications are on so you can see when I post the link. It's a private link. It doesn't show up on the videos page or the live page. You got to come here to post, and you'll only see it if you have your notifications turned on. We're going to be going through some charts, some setups, basically chart requests live from you guys, breaking down what's going on in these markets and also doing some trading. So shout out to everybody. Look at this. It's trying to shake people out, coming down, bouncing back. Let's see what happens. I'm okay. I'm just going to leave my stop loss where it's at. And then continuing on, stable coins rolling over. But you know what? At the end of the day, where's the liquidity? Let's go ahead and refresh this. This is on the 24-hour chart. This has just been slicing to the upside. Clear the liquidity. Okay, held here, cleared the liquidity. It's got a little bit of a node below us, which is not a bad thing for a number of reasons, and we need to pay attention to those. While I'm very bullish on what's happening in this setup on the 4-hour time frame and above, there is a call for how price action moves that we need to be prepared for a little bit of a washout to the downside. Now, why is that? Because look at this. This is very inefficient move. This is a 4-hour chart. Let's go to the 1-hour chart. These are inefficiencies in the market. This one is not right here. This is an inefficiency. This is an inefficiency. What am I talking about? I'm saying when you're not stair-stepping up like this and having some small corrections, making sure there's buyer support agreeing with the move up, a lot of times what will happen is you get very excited. Okay, we got very excited again. We may be in for either a little bit of a Bart Simpson pattern, flush back down, or a move, kind of it might be very fast. It might stair step down, whatever, but basically filling in the price action, finding support before we actually have that next leg and strong move to the upside. So while we're very bullish, while it feels great, while everything feels on track, while it feels like our lives are about to change, I apologize if there's any kids listening, don't fuck this up. The time is now, but that doesn't mean it's up only. There's some work to be done, and part of that work is just patience, due diligence, maybe sitting on your hands and not doing a thing. If you're not sure right now, get in the BitLab Academy. Go through all those 120 lessons that we have going on in the BitLab Academy. You can sign up right there, lab.bitlabacademy.com/deal. Use that link. It's 15 days free. And it's also 33% off a lifetime, 33% off for the lifetime of your membership. And we're posting in there, sharing charts, breaking things down. In fact, let me go ahead and highlight that. I did a long update today in the Kelly Alpha channel, breaking down exactly what I'm seeing and why, breaking down actually the updates to what's going on with the portfolio. And we've got so much. We've got the member stream also for anybody that's a part of this as well. But there's just been nonstop charts breaking down exactly signals and so much going on there. And on that note, one of our key members, a contributing member, had his ledger. He didn't update his ledger. He had his ledger hacked, and it's one of those things. I'm telling you, you need to make sure that you have a VPN. You need to make sure you're taking care of your security and protection. Go to nordvpn.com/BitLab. Sign up. You get 4 months free. It's like $2 or $3 a month. I mean, seriously, it's silly of you not to take advantage of protecting yourself, and you're also helping support this channel with this deal. And I've been using Nord for 4 or 5 years. It's my preferred VPN use, and I had to set up an exclusive deal. You're not getting this, I think, almost anywhere else. 4 months free. Sign up, nordvpn.com/BitLab. The link is directly below right here. When you're watching, where are we at? Boom, live. It's directly below. You see top of this deal. Join our free traders group. That's the link right there. If you want the trade signals and actives, entries, exits, all those things there. But then also get NordVPN free. That link is right there. nordvpn.com/BitLab. Now we got to talk about what's going on because the liquidity is moving up. Let's see if we got stopped out. We did not get stopped out yet. It's starting to look weaker though. So, you just have to be okay with it. So we do have a bit of a bull flag here. Dude, that would be beautiful. What would that look like? We got our boy is going to be popping in here in just a moment. Look at that beautiful bull flag. Let's see what the target out of this would be if I don't get stopped out. The target out of this would be all the way up here, 67.5. What does that look like on the liquidation heat map? 67.5. There's 66.66 is our next node. 67.23. A little bit of interesting price action in this zone. So with that being said, we got the bullishness here. We got the setups here. We got the community here. We got the tools, the resources. Thank you all for being part of this community. We got to dive in and talk about what's going on in this market with our boy, the one and only, the man himself, Mr. Danky Dank Dank, Mr. Crypto Danks. How you doing, good sir?
What is going on, my man? Everything's good on my side. How you doing, people, ladies and gentlemen, all the Danksters out there, all the BitLab Academy members, all of the Kelsters. I'm going to call them Kelsters, the Kelsters. How you doing, my man? Good to see you.
I'm doing good. I had a relaxing weekend. Went to a gun show on Saturday. Picked up a little new toy. and hung out, watched some football, made some trades, did a 95% trade last night. I'm in the middle of a trade right now. I took one trade this morning, was in, made some money. Now I'm on another one. This one might get stopped out, which I'm okay with. There is a little bit of a bull flag there. I will move my stop loss about $20. Not a lot. Boom. But how you doing? What are you looking at? I know you're feeling a little under the weather, so let's talk about how we can cheer it up with these charts and what you're looking at. Have you been trading at all?
Yeah, I've been watching the market. I've been trading a little bit here and there. Right before we had this major breakout, I was trading the chop. I got a little discouraged, and then bam, we had some really nice movement to the upside, which is really great to see. One thing that I think I wanted to talk about today, and I like to kind of bring a little lesson to whatever I do here, is price action, right? And this is a great representation of price action. One thing that I really try to drive home, right? Let me just close this, and I think you guys can see my screen and everything. So if we really like look at what this is, right? Like in general, like let me take all of this stuff out. Let's see. Let's at least take the moving average. Let's just look at the candlesticks, right? So a candlestick essentially reflects what price action is, right? So we have price action on this one candlestick on the daily time frame. So that's one candlestick daily time frame. We have 8 hours left. Now, what's interesting about this particular candle is now we're moving to a third high and a third lower low potentially. All right. So we would have to break this high here. Okay. We need to break this high here and close if at all possible. If not, it's okay because we can open a new candle and hopefully close above here. Now, once we start doing that, we start to move above hopefully this and break out of this descending channel that we've been in since the beginning of the year, since this initial run up. Now, one thing I will say about price action, about candlesticks in general, I want to say this and then I'm going to back it with something else. Price action, candlesticks at its very core is a reflection and a representation. It's going to sound so weird when I say it, of human psychology, right? Essentially, this is emotion, this is strategy, this is mathematics. This one little measly candlestick is so much, right? So it reflects market sentiment. Once you start getting this push up, and then more of a push up and more of a push up, you start getting this emotional psychological move to the upside. Now, that being said, as much as I want that to be true, and partially is, we have major CEXs in play with their bots, with their look. These companies, these centralized exchanges have put billions of dollars into psychology, into statistics, into mathematics, into algorithms, into everything. So they know what we want and what we are going to do, right? So sometimes many of you, and even myself, could be trading and you might feel like, man, every time I do something, it does the opposite. And you might not be wrong because there are instances where some exchanges, and I'm not going to name names. One I know that does. I'm going to have to stop trading on certain ones that I know do it more than others because CoinW has never done this to me. That's why I like them so much, and it's growing even more and more on me. Is I get counter traded, and when I trade, we're talking 5-figure trades. The other day I put a $97,000 trade on 6x leverage. All right. So when they start, think about this. I just, and I'm not trying to be negative here, but just think about this. Think about if you owned a centralized exchange, Crypto Danks, he places a $100,000 order and it's 6x leverage. So you're talking 600K with margin and leverage, right? If you knew exactly where that trade is placed at what time and where his stop loss is going to be, and you had the ability to do what you could to manipulate the price to take that money, don't you think that people would try to do that on that end, especially out there in the Satios Isles and all these other places? I mean, I hate to say it, but I think that's what's happening in some cases, especially in lower liquid markets. So that's why it's important to trade Bitcoin, to trade Ethereum and Solana as well. These top 5, maybe even top 10. But you start getting into Tau, man. I've been up and down on Tau, and it's gotten me wrecked. I've made a lot of money and this and that. I'd have to honestly do the math to see if I'm even profitable on Tau after all this time, because certain times it really feels like I'm getting counter traded. So going back to market sentiment, it's important to use and flow in the direction of the market, right? If it's continuing to the upside on all time frames, let's go ahead and follow that time frame, right? Follow that trajectory, right? A lot of people, they'll say, well, let's short, we're here, let's short, let's short. Well, instead of like, say I just woke up, I just got to the computer, I'm looking for a trade, I'm looking at my indicators. Everything's looking bullish to the upside, but guess what? We're at a top, potentially a double top here. A lot of people would want to short, but that's what a lot of other people are going to be doing. So what would the market want to do? Just push straight up, stop and liquidate, and take that money. It's just free money on the table. So futures trading, I tell a lot of people it's damn near I wouldn't say impossible, but it's very, very difficult to beat, because you're playing against big money that has so much more than what I have, and the ability that I have, all the computers and all the stuff I have is nothing compared to what these other whatever they've got, so it's not essentially PvP as much as we think, but it is, but it isn't. I don't know, I kind of went in a wild tangent. I don't know if you wanted to say something about that. What do you think about my tangent, Kels?
I mean, I don't think it's a tangent. I think it's important to note. I do think we're still a little bit in the Wild West of, we're seeing that the FBI action against basically the meme coin manipulation. It's not limited to that. There's been a lot of wash trading over the years and on markets to pump up volume on different tokens. But in addition to that, this is one of the reasons why I really like stop limit orders. If you do have something in there, so people don't know where you are targeting an order book, because the more liquidity you see at an area, price action will get pushed into that because they see limit orders there, and then they go the opposite direction. If it's a stop limit order, they can't see your thing there. Now, but if you actually have a trade open, they can kind of calculate, what the where the most liquidity is going to be based on in their own exchange, based on where, based on how much open interest there is, and they can see, how much, if it's the majority is at 12x, they know the zone they need to get to flush that out. And I don't want to say, and why wouldn't they? Because they shouldn't do that. But because this is still a very unregulated space, I think you have to be aware of that. This is why also you do not trade your entire portfolio. You have little sections of a trading portfolio so you can prevent that. But what else are you looking at in the charts? What are you seeing any setups brewing, or what are your cautionary levels you're watching? All that sort of stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. One thing that I've been looking at is Sui, man. It's just an absolute beast. I think that there is, obviously, if you're not the only one, I'm sure everyone's been looking and talking and watching and seeing what Sui's up to. And what's interesting is we're seeing the Solana devs and Solana buyers move over to Sui, and we're starting to see more and more of that. Tron picked it up for like a day, right? Like 2 days, 3 days after their sun meme, whatever it was. I don't even remember the name. That's how unimportant it was. Now then we have Sui coming in and blast. What's funny is, let me tell you what's funny is, I actually was in the pre-sale of Sui right before they came out, obviously, and they launched at $1.30, came all the way down to 30 cents. I thought it was a dead token. I sold at the bottom. I didn't buy much, but think about like how much. Look at this price action. This is actually a beautiful chart, the way it's moved. It looks kind of scary in the way that it's dipped so heavily. And I have heard some of these OG traders say, oh, well, it's definitely going to go back down to under $1. But I don't know, right? See, the thing is, what we saw with Solana last year is happening at the same time and at the same speed and rate with Sui, right? We're seeing billions of market cap and growth over a very short span of time. So this is one that I've been watching and I've made some pretty good gains on as well. Let me see actually where we're at here. We're on the daily time frame. So one thing that I really look for, let me take off this Fibonacci here. There's 3-4 things, I use my indicators a lot, right? I do. But at the end of the day, they're not going to give you all the answers. But there's one thing a lot of people sleep on, and it's the volume, right? The volume is extremely important. You see this growth in volume over the last month and a half, 2 months since the beginning of September has exploded, right? It's absolutely exploded. If you look in the past, look at how little this volume is down here. Even over here, okay, now we're starting to see this type of volume in the beginning of the year back over here. Now, can it sustain? Well, what we're seeing here on the price action on SUI is it might start to fall. Now, we're getting cross indications. The RSI wants to fall crossover. We have we still have pretty bullish sentiment on the MACD. The volume is starting to decline a little bit, right? So we have to watch out for that. Now, we could get a bust out to the upside, but that, we're just going to have to wait and see. Let's see what else we got here. Yeah. I mean, this one it's tough. A lot of people, one thing I would say is like, for me, I like when I start seeing coins like this run, if I see a dip even to like 220 and under, 216 like the other day, I think I placed it. I don't have my thing open, but I placed, like $1,000, 3x leverage, almost like a spot trade, right? Because what I did was I actually bought SUI at 67 cents. I bought a big old bag of it, and then I took profit expecting a pullback. Guess what? It didn't pull back. So what do? Instead of trying to like buy more and more and more or beat myself up over it, I take some money and I just keep adding to a small futures position. When I say small, I mean small leverage. So in order to compensate for the losses that I missed on the spot bag because I took profits too early, and one thing, taking profits too early is not a bad thing. If you Warren Buffett, he had a saying that someone interviewed him and asked him, said, "How did you get so?" Was it Warren Buffett? I think it was Rockefeller. I don't remember who it was. It was somebody billionaire. They said, "How did you make all your money?" And he said, "I always took profits too early." Right. And that was one thing that has always been in the back of my mind, is that you never go broke taking profits. And if you take profits too early, so be it, right? You're at least taking profits instead of not. Because I know a lot of people that are going to hold this bag all the way up to $10, $15 and ride that sucker all the way back down to $2, right? And end up, you never know what could happen with the price. So it's better to take profits than to not. But a lot of people don't realize or even think about the fact they're always focused on 5x, 10x, 20x, 50x leverage, but you can use futures to compensate for your spot positions. You can add 2x leverage. To say I had $5,000 I had in SUI. Well, I can go and put that 5,000 on 2 or 3x leverage at a certain price, and then what is the liquidation on that? It's got to be under $1. You know what I mean? At the very maybe even 50 cents. So you're really setting yourself up for a good position there. And a lot of people, I'm getting a call. Hold on. He doesn't know what's going on. You should know what's going on, bro. All right. Anyways, sorry. I don't know if you can hear the audio or not, but
No.
I had someone calling me on Discord. So anyways, SUI is one that I'm watching. I added some around 216, and I'm waiting for a pullback on that to add a little bit more, or I might just continue to dump in. But we have to see, look, this is the thing, going back to price action, going back to Bitcoin. I had this whole write-up done, and I had all of this stuff and on a chart. I wonder if I could find that chart with it on there. I think it was Coinbase. Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's still here. Okay. So this is what I was saying. Wow, that's funny that it's still here. Okay. So I was calling back at this time, which was at September. I was saying we're going to have a potential buy zone and accumulation down in this area. All right. What's going to happen is we're going to pull back. That's why I have this little green zone. And then we're going to have a bunch of shorts that we're going to want to get liquidated. Look at where we are right now and what I drew. I mean, it's almost spot on, right? So what I'm thinking is that the market knows what we want. All right. The market knows two things. It knows, as far as price action, the market knows, and when I say the market, I mean centralized exchanges and institutional investors. They know we want the price to go up. So they know that we're going to be pushing the price up with buys on spot and longs on future. But they also know that smart money is going to be placing shorts at all the levels that we want to get to, right? So what's going to happen is most likely they're going to let us push up to these highs, possibly even break this high here, okay? So we are like super bullish, cross over to the 70K range, and there's a chance that once we get up here, what do? They liquidate all these shorts. Let me go ahead and pull open the heat map and see what we got. Bitcoin heat map. And they're going to liquidate whatever shorts, stop them out, take all that free money. Along the way, okay, along the way, here we place long. Think about it. Long here, long all in here. There's all these longs, right? People are placing long here, here, buys here, here. So as that happens, we've got all these longs being placed. I want to pull open the heat map and see what we got as well. So imagine these are like hundreds of millions of dollars in longs. Let me pull it up here and see what we got. I hooked up my second monitor to my. Let's see what we got. So how much do we have? This is just on Binance, right? Let me see the 3-day. Yeah, I don't see much on Binance. This is interesting. Usually I would look for potentially a lot of liquidation to be had, but it looks like they've taken most of the money. So now we're actually just moving naturally. But my prediction was pretty much, hey, we're going to move up to this range. We're going to potentially break a higher high. And then either around the time that we have the next meeting about rates, we might slam down. And that way we end up stopping out the shorts, or they end up stopping out the longs. I mean, liquidating some of the longs, the high leverage stuff like that, and then push back up and probably end up back in this accumulation zone as well for one last time before the run up. The thing is, we just really don't know when that's going to happen. So, or if it's going to happen. The thing is, though, is that all we can do is the trend is your friend, right? The trend is your friend.
So you're thinking that we're going to go down there and retap down at what level is that? Is that the 54 down
50,
to 52K range?
Yeah, 56 to 52. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Based off of a few factors, based off of the previous liquidation prices, the multiple times that we've tapped 1, 2, 3, 4, and it's gotten lower and lower pretty much every time for the bodies of the candles. The wicks, not so much, but the bodies are important. When the bodies start hitting these lows, that's what makes me worry, or wonder at least, what's going to happen. Let me see if I can pull a fib from this. Should I pull it from here? Let's see. Let me start from down here. Yeah, so it's pretty much like right in this area, I think. No, okay, so that's where I have it wrong. So up here, I'll pull it from right here. So the I guess that's based off my Fibonacci. So if we pull from basically the previous swing low back here, or from the last pullback to the big high that we had up to 74K, the pullback zone is naturally at 52,218, and it's happened twice, and it's gone in the zone. I have a zone. A lot of people put just the 0.618 as the golden ratio, where that's the number we have to hit. I actually give leeway, and I put between the 0.5 and the 0.618. So I give ourselves a little bit of movement and space to say, hey, we have a zone to move through, right? And also, let me delete some of this stuff here, and then I want to ask your opinion on that. So if we look at the price volume indicator, okay, and also the volume, all right, the volume has remained steady, but it's actually less over here if we look. So over here we had more volume. So we were pushing up like we are here, pushing up, but the volume is much less. It's half than over here. All right. That's something to look out for. This is volume by time. This is volume by price. All right. So when you have less volume by time, but you have a lot more price action in this area. That's something you need to keep your eye out for. What do you think about that thesis?
I like it. I do think that there's a possibility we'll get a washout. I'm not sure if we're going to get a washout down to like the 52K range. We got a pretty sort of massive inverse head and shoulders kind of setting up at the moment, and a lot of bullishness coming in. I'm prepared either direction. If it does go down, then we'll all be ready for it. But yeah, I think if we do pull back 56-ish K, I think we'll maintain that rounding structure. Now, if we lose that, then we may be in for a little bit more sort of aggressive washout, maybe into the end of October. But I think there's this is starting to spark positive sentiment that once you start getting that train rolling, we may be coming into this sort of consolidative sort of price structures that we've been seeing the last 7 months.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, the more I think about it, look, I drew this up months ago, when probably over the summer, so it's like things have changed. I heard whispers of a 200-point basis cut, in the next meeting, which I think is November 7th or 10th. So if we have something like that, and then we have what's BlackRock, let me see if I can find it. If that's still, do you know if that's still in the works? If BlackRock is on the money with that $35 trillion liquidity injection?
Yeah, I don't know where they're at with that. I know it was discussed. I think the whole news cycle kind of took over after that. I'm not really sure where they're at with that.
Yeah, there's this right here that I saw. BlackRock. So this was in September 20th, so almost a month ago. BlackRock prepares for $35 trillion Federal Reserve dollar crisis. So to me, it sounds like a liquidity injection like we've never seen before might come in. The biggest one that we've seen was a $6 trillion liquidity injection over COVID. What's interesting is that we have a $35 trillion debt deficit, right?
I
So
think that might be more what they're referencing. I think they're saying that the $35 trillion of debt is creating a crisis, and that there's going to need to be hedging outside of the system. But we're seeing them make pretty strong strides with Ondo, also with their own, the Bitcoin spot ETF. We're seeing now things like Franklin Templeton do the indexed ETF with Bitcoin and Ethereum. We're seeing Bitcoin actually spill a little bit right now. And this is what I was talking about, everybody, at the beginning of the stream. Very quick move up, kind of inefficient. Very quick move up, very inefficient. So it's almost starting. This is on a 1 minute time frame. If we look at it on, let's say, 15-minute, we could be coming down to test back down here 65. And if that doesn't hold, then we'd be looking likely back down here at 64. But that's okay. This is all, what did I say, everybody? What do we need in an uptrend? You cannot have this, because when you get that, you get this. What we want to see is this. Okay, it went too far. Comes down a little bit, shakes some people out, pushes up, comes down. We want to see that rise, retrace, continuation, which is essentially, if we do get any sort of pullback here, this is not bearish. This is even coming down here to 62. This is not bearish at all. This is part of the structure being built. If we start losing that and we get down, like you were suggesting, potentially losing 61, I do think we're coming down to 60. If we lose that, I think we're coming down to 56, which is basically this rising trend line that we have in here. And then ultimately, I think if we lose this zone that's right here, basically the top side of it, 54,000, I think this is when we might get a max capitulation sort of move if that happens. But then that also starts changing the structure. So we got to pay attention to what's going on.
True. Yeah, I mean, let's look and see if I can find us a nice little, just from the fixed range profile indicator, it shows our value low and our value high. Now, if you're not familiar with this indicator, I think it's free. They call this the value area high, or VAH. Let me make it a little bit bigger for all of you. So this would be the value area high, which is this blue line here. Let me zoom in a little bit, maybe not. Okay. And then we have the value area low. Again, this is all based off of price action, right? So volume by price, which is value area low. VAL. And then we have what's the point of control. So we'll put the point of control over here. So looking at this, we can get an idea of where the price is at and where it wants to be at, right? So point of control essentially is just right where this middle red line is at. What happened to my thing here? So having this little range is nice to give us an idea of where we're at. And you can see this has obviously created some type of channel that we've been pretty much in since the beginning of the year, since this last push up. So if we were looking to pull back, I mean, at the very minimum, we're looking at 58K, 55, 58.5, under 60. Yeah, we do have a support here under 60, right? We have bounces here, we have a breakthrough, and then we pull back here, fake out, support, resistance, all in here, resistance, support. So this is a pretty major level, 60K flat. If we break that, then 58K is the next move. If we break that, then we have the level of, I guess we could say, probably right around here. Touches one, a lot in here. You can see there's, even though it does fake out, it's called a fake out, and you come down here and then you break up, it still bounces off as support multiple times. We have it in here as well. This is another major level at 56. And then we get down to, I mean, at the very bearish case, 52-ish. So, I mean, yeah, is it likely that we go down to these levels? Possibly not. But then again, who knows? I mean, that's the thing, and that's what can drive some of us crazy as technical analysis, people or traders and whatnot, and educators, is that we want to be able to say, hey, this is going to happen, but at the end of the day, we never know. We don't know what's going to happen in Israel and Iran and then the president candidacy. We don't know what's going to happen. Like, is the hurricane going to affect? There's so many things, right? Because crypto is universal, is global, right? So, and it's 24-hour. So anything can manipulate the market, and it doesn't have to be like manipulated like Dr. Evil, you know what I'm saying? It's just like, stuff happens in life, and it affects the market. It's not just it's not just the crypto market, it's stock market as well. So I mean, we just have to literally wait and see. Now, what I'm seeing right now, honestly, I'm seeing a lot of bullishness. I mean, we're seeing these prices move up. Tau has touched 700, Ethereum now at 2,600, Bitcoin at 66 almost. It's like, Caspa has been kind of falling flat. We've seen a lot of bearishness on Caspa. And to touch on this, I'm going to touch on Caspa. The thing is, Caspa has had this community, and I've been a part of it. I am a part of it. I have Caspa tatted on me. Caspa is one of the things that changed my life, and I'm forever grateful for Caspa. But this is the thing, is the community is so, I don't know how to say it. I mean, I guess
Blindly
most would
bullish.
agree that it's, yeah, blindly bullish and in many ways toxic, right? You've got a lot of trash going on. You got a lot of negativity. And if any influencer or whatever, YouTuber goes and says they took profits or sold their bags, they get forever trashed on, and that's not healthy for any community to be that way. And I think that also, unfortunately, one of the developers of Caspa is just super political. And when you connect a coin, especially one that is looked at as such a positive opportunity to a specific religion in a specific region of the world, that can be slightly bearish, in my opinion. There's a lot of controversy around Shy, Crypto Archie on X and Twitter. If you don't know about it, then don't worry. I mean, it is what it is. But, there's a lot of political stuff going on with this coin. And as a result, the whales have been dumping. You can go look at their rich list, I guess you would say, top 100 and or top 1,000. And a lot of those big holders that have been holding for a year, 2 years, have been dumping millions of tokens, which is a lot. So this has, this might be an opportunity to swoop up on, because these are the opportunities that I look for, is when because this team is not going to stop building, and eventually Caspa is going to be what they've sought out to be, is to be a proof of work, layer one, very fast, 100 blocks per second, which would be like, extremely fast for a proof of work, very low in cost to transact and be an everyday currency. If they can achieve that, and we can get this down to like around under 10 cents, 11 cents, even possibly lower, that would be another buy of a lifetime. I would definitely be looking to pick some of that up. I don't get involved in the controversy. I'm here to make money. You know what I'm saying? And if I can find a good buy, I'm looking for it. Aave, another one. See, when I'm looking at price action, I'm looking at things that I can buy at a discount. It doesn't have to be mega discounted. It can just be at a support level and get in, because I'm looking at use case now, because we have so many crypto out on the market that has no use case. Sure, do they pump? Yeah. Do they last? No, probably not. However, when you see something like Aave, which is a DeFi protocol, crypto lending platform, well, what is the essential sentiment of people and money these days? People are broke. People are broke. They want to invest. They went bust. Aave's there, right? So this is something that I've been looking to get into for a long-term position, to hold for a longer period of time, maybe take profits at a top, but just stack at the bottom again, or short and then stack. Trade, this is a very good price for poly trade. For me, you don't see it at this price very often. It quickly just touched mid 40s and pulled back up. This is one that I am looking to definitely buy more. I'll actually buy some more right after the stream.
Based on you bringing it up, was it last week or whatever? I took a little bit, I forget of what, and moved about just small, about $1,000 into that, because it's a super small coin. So $1,000, you don't need to go put 10,000 in because you're trying to play catch up. You're risking. A good point. I'm going to sidetrack tangent real quick. A good point on that is, and shout out to Gabby here in the chat. He actually hit me up on this and identified the Ordi swap had a little bit of I don't want to call it a catastrophe, but in their private Telegram, they basically said, this is Grand Sachs, who's one of the people on the team, says, after 2 years of development and multiple changes to the team and infrastructure, we've reached a point of fundamental design flaws. This, I think, scared a lot of people. And, it's good that they brought this up. Says these were not present in V1, V2, but with the changes, blah, blah, blah. They're not giving up. They're still working on it, but they're identifying that they don't know how, when, and where they can actually launch and release this, or even if they're going to be able to. And so when you pull up, for instance, ORDS, if you pull it up on the chart, if you're wondering why, let's go to the 4 hour. If you're wondering why this massive bleed down that we saw over the weekend, that's why. And that's also, everybody, that's why on that altcoin portfolio that I've been sharing with y'all, I haven't made any moves. We lost a huge amount of money on the, a huge amount of percentage on this. You can see 97% down. Same with Codex, but both of these were very small allocations as it relates to the whole portfolio. And so, at this point, I'll leave it there. It's a moon bag. If it comes back, great. But this is also why you don't take overwhelmingly misallocated swings on small coins. But we did get in on some poly trade, got about I think it was 900 or something, but so continue on with poly trade. I just wanted to shout that out.
Yeah, I mean, since we're talking about it, let's pull open the website. So Polytrade is an RWA play. Now, one thing that there's why I like it. One, it's 20 million market cap. All right, $20 million market cap. Let me see if I can pull up here. Trade is the ticker, Polytrade. One thing on is the here, let me go actually to this one, Polytrade. So first, it's an RWA play. Whoa, did they change their platform or something overnight? I didn't see this. Okay, so what's interesting is, and you pointed it out, I'm glad you did, 160,000 on the watch list. That's a lot. I don't see that very often out of a top 1,000 type of crypto. Now, it's on the Polygon network. It's got 93% bullish sentiment. If we go over to, let's go to Lunar Crush. This is a site that I use for sentiment on social media. Let me log in and on the side real quick. Boom, boom. Danks. Well, never mind. I guess I can't do that. But anyways, it's a MasterCard partner. All right. So they've already partnered with MasterCard. All right. They have they diversified their assets, so not just like metals and stuff like that. It's got car loans. Oops, they have trade finance, real estate. You can get diversify across credit, collectibles. I've seen Pokemon cards on there, treasuries and bonds, equities, and they're mega partnered up along with being multi-chain. Also, their main lead, um, how you say, their advisor is Sandeep Nawal, co-founder of Polygon. All right, so this is a pretty big name to have as a lead advisor and a testimonial on the front page. Polytrade's integration of DeFi with traditional finance represents a much anticipated step forward in the evolution of financial landscape. Given our long-standing relationship with the team, I am convinced that their unwavering dedication to real-world assets and DeFi will prove to be a transformative force for the Web3 ecosystem and drive widespread adoption. Now, you can go on their marketplace and check it out, and see what it's all about. It does show they're still growing, right? It's still very baseline, but just to get through the regulation, just to get through and actually put together a platform that's fully operable that you can go and buy. Like I was on here and I bought a $700 bottle of wine that's tokenized. I'm a wine guy, right? I'm a sommelier, so I'm looking at stuff like weird little stuff like that are rare bottles of wine that you can't find anywhere I can buy on the chain. And a luxury bag, Louis Vuitton, so this is kind of cool. I mean, it brings a different flavor to the space. And to get to this point, I don't know many that are at this point in their RWA journey. I know Ondo is, that's obviously a big one, but where's the money from Ondo going to go? Well, Swarm Markets is tokenized stocks, right? We don't really have, from what I know, maybe I'm missing somewhere and I haven't seen it. Please put it in the chat. I would love to know if you know of an asset that has a fully functioning marketplace like Polytrade that has multiple different types of options to choose from. I'd love to know about it. But yeah, so anyways, that's at a great buy price and something I've been looking at. And again, think about it. 20 million market cap. If it gets to 200 million, you put $1,000. That's a 10x. If it gets to 2 billion, that's 100x. You make 100 grand off 1,000. And that's like very, I'm not saying it's going to happen. I'm just saying you don't need a lot of money. Even 1,000 might be too much. Put a small percentage of your allocation in these small coins. Again, one thing is a lot of people, especially, in my community, as I started out, we were looking at these super low cap crypto, right? And as I've grown throughout this journey on YouTube and in my community, one thing I've noticed is that you don't need to invest in a micro cap to make a big gain. As we've seen, it's easier for a $100 million market cap crypto to get to $1 billion than it is for a 1 million market cap crypto to get to 10 million, or a 10 million to get to 100 million, right? So you're better off investing in stuff that has a mid-size market cap that has sustained over 100 million. One that I must say is AGI. This has now become my favorite mid-low cap AI play. It's an artificial intelligence play, and the price action on this has been pretty nice. It's sustained over 100 million. This is that 100 million mark, and it's done big numbers recently, just close to 680 million in market cap, right? So we're looking at and what this is, I can quickly show you if you don't mind. I don't know if we're running out of time here, but AGI is their.
We got 2 or 3 minutes left. We got to throw it over to Blockchain Basement in a second, but I'm loving this.
Sounds good. So quickly, and I'll wrap this up. AGI Delicium, this is a $189 million market cap. All right. $20 million in volume. All right. It's up 138% in the last 24 hours in volume. That means it's getting paid attention to. What's interesting is it's 251, but then look at the favorites, only 41K. So that means to me, Polytrade still being heavily looked at, but AGI, this is revolutionary technology. What they actually are building are AI agents that are fully replicable versions of you. They can take all the information, all the data, and everything that you've ever done on your PC, on your phone, and literally replicate an AI version of me. And then you can have one version of me monitoring and running my Discord, one version of me. If you go over to my YouTube channel, I'm gonna flex a little bit here. Not flex, what do you call it? Whatever it is. I'm gonna shill a little bit. Let's go to Crypto Danks, or just go to my channel rather. And then my last two videos, I have, this is Polytrade, and then this is AGI. So go check these out. But AGI literally are AI agents that are replicable, and it is down to, it's like they want to say like down to the DNA of who you are. Autonomous AI agents fully trained through the data that you input. And then they also have Lucy, which is their fully Web3 operating system. They've got a whole ecosystem. And this is something that I am really, really bullish on. Already 2.6 million transactions on record. And it's a new crypto, it's a new crypto. So it's been out since last year, and we've seen some pretty interesting price action, and I'm really looking forward to seeing what this can do. These are the types of things, like I said, utility, right? Like game-changing, life-changing utility. This is the only, now let me throw this in. This is the only AI project that I've ever seen that's partnered with Microsoft. All right. So check this out. AGI, Microsoft. Let's see. If I actually just go to AGI, Delicium, here it is. AGI. I think it's on their page somewhere in here. Yeah, right here. Literally, with Microsoft startups. So that means something, right? This is legit. The future of AI agents is decentralized, Delicium, and Microsoft partner to mainstream AI on blockchain. All right. This is what I'm talking about. So I'll post this link in the chat. You guys do your research, and that's all we've got for me. So I appreciate you having me on, and
always dropping the good gems. Yeah, I'm gonna have to take a look into Delicium, and we also looked at a couple other things, Caspa and Aave, Bitcoin. I think the time is coming near where we are going to have that bull rocket. We may get that washout to the downside, but everybody, it's all is set up to trigger you emotionally. Do not donate your capital to other people that have a better strategy. Danks, it's always good having you on, and everybody that's tuned in right now, make sure you head over to at CryptoDanks at CryptoDanksX. And then, of course, he's got a link to his Patreon, and then also he's got a YouTube as well. Make sure you're tuning in there. But it's always a pleasure having you on, Mr. Crypto Danky Dank. I love you, brother. And we're going to keep trading in this market. Now,
yeah,
everybody,
let's make that money.
We're going to head over to Blockchain Basement. Let's go drop a couple lab coats there in the live chat when we head over there and say BitLab's pumping the market. We'll all say the same thing and go raid that channel. But I love you. I'll chat with you again soon, my brother. And everybody, let's stay vigilant, because this is exciting, but it doesn't mean all systems go up, up, and away. If it washes out to the downside, remember there's opportunities still present, but it's about to disappear. And if you haven't yet, remember, we do giveaways on this channel on a weekly basis, and we basically pick the winners by those of you that are helping show some love. Heading over to my page right here. I will share this in the live chat. There's the link in the live chat right there. Hold on one second. Boom. Hit that retweet. Hit that heart button there. Do the same thing here on YouTube. And shout out to Green Day Profits with the super chat earlier that I missed. Said hit the like button for the fam. It's the easiest way to support the channel. You should always engage with any content you're seeing online. But I love you guys. That's all I got. Again, thank you so much for being here, Danks. And we'll see you next time.
Cheers, guys. Thank you.
Adios, folks.
Peace.